Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to the Her Hoop Stats podcast. You can listen to our podcast every single weekday. I know because I'm here on Apple Podcasts and the video portion on YouTube. Be sure to follow Her Hoop Stats at Her Hoop Stats on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, and X. I am Brian BMac Mackay, and it is my absolute pleasure to be joined by the one and only Cindy Brunson. How are you doing today, my friend?
BMac, I feel like I hit the lottery. I get to work with the producer extraordinaire. Are you kidding me? Woo!
Hey,
This is a
it's like
basketball
that.
god. Listen, the basketball gods are getting my mind right before I have my regular season opener with Arizona in a couple of days. So thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Hey, it's like I told somebody earlier it's that Stevie Wonder song, "Signed, Sealed, Delivered." You have
Woo!
you
That's
have a
it.
government shutdown, which took away a couple people from the podcast rotation. You have
Right.
games that are being played that people are calling, so that takes away a couple more. So
Yep.
you get me. I'm here,
Hey,
baby. Signed, sealed, delivered.
I tell you what, that is a win for me with a capital W. I will take it all day, every day. What impressed you most with day one? We are underway. The drive to the desert is official. Women's Final Four here in Phoenix. And I tell you what, we had so many great games to look at in day one.
Yes, we are one game day closer to partying with you in Phoenix. Exciting.
Yeah.
But no, let's start over the pond
Hmm.
in Paris.
We.
Baylor. Baylor and Duke. What welcome back to Leah Scott.
Hmm. I tell you what,
Man,
Baylor was very impressive. The length, just the confidence, little page bugs. You know what you're going to get with the Baylor team for the most part. But for me, thanks to Scott, it was the shot making, the shot taking, and the shot making.
yeah.
Shots that we usually don't see fall for the Baylor Bears like that. It was pretty impressive. And what a statement, right? You've got that top 25 matchup for the first time in the Wii Paris games, and boom, Baylor makes a statement. Duke obviously has some good stuff to put on film. Can't have those kind of scoring droughts. They need to figure out who their reliable person is when things get tight. But I think it's just going to put the Blue Devils in a position to succeed down the road. That's what all of this is. It's a resume builder for the Lady Bears, and it's we got to roll our sleeves up situation for Duke.
Yeah, the offensive struggles they had, you know personally, I have a lot of mock degrees from the school of Debbie Antonelli offense. So
Yes.
I'm all about the offense, but I will say this: I'm also the son of a coach, and I've done some coaching myself, and I know what defense can bring you. And
Mhm.
Carol Austin is always going to make sure they have that in their back pocket.
Oh yeah, the defense kept them in the game. It was
Yeah.
the shot making that let them down. So yeah, I think defense a couple of tweaks, but definitely better rebounding, boxing out. You know, just the basics. And these are all things that are easy to clean up. And once they get back in the lab, they know exactly what they need to address.
Well, just one more note on Talia Scott. Just
Mhm.
I find it so awesome because I followed her through all her SEC years, where she was at Arkansas, at Auburn. Just the injury riddled career she's had to this point. To see her come out and play like that, it really felt good.
It was nice to see, right? Because you could feel the joy, even through your TV,
Yes.
pouring out of every single pore in her being, the post-game interview, the whole thing, the way her teammates celebrated her. You know, right away that the locker room culture is solid and her teammates are cheering for her, and that's just huge.
Absolutely. And the other matchup over in Paris, you had Vanderbilt outlasting the Cal Bears 74-65.
Yes.
Michaela Blake's.
Yeah, that's just one sentence now, right?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah, period.
right? That's She is so special. And you know she's going to get the basketball. And you know that you have to double, sometimes triple team her. And sometimes that doesn't even matter. Credit to Sharman Smith and what she's got going on in the Bay Area. For 3 quarters, that was a game. It was very competitive. It was back and forth. And the Golden Bears just ran out of steam and just too much Michaela Blake's down the stretch. But I think a lot of nice things came out of that game for Cal and for Sean Smith, and I see a lot of good things ahead in their future. And then this is exactly what head coach Shay Ralph wanted out of her Vandy group, right? We're going to make a
Yes.
statement. We're going to prove that we belong in the top 25, and this is what we're doing. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, and just going back to Blake's only because, trying to earn that extra bonus from Aaron. Herhoopstats.com, I found that was her 11th career 25 plus point game, and
Uh-huh.
which includes two 50 plus.
And
She's a,
she's just a sophomore, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness gracious.
oh my gosh. Yeah, but two, both had their struggles shooting both games, but
Yep.
you had the defensive battle with the Baylor Duke. You had Mikayla Blake's just putting on an offensive display in the Vandy Cal. You got good TV. Not a
Yes.
lot of people saw it because ESPN's fighting with YouTube TV right now. But uh,
I may have borrowed a cable subscriber friend of mine and their passwords and whatnot to watch the games, I will admit. But yeah, you got to find a way, right? I had to make sure all of my apps were correct. Peacock,
yes.
Big Ten, the whole thing, because I had to watch the nightcap with number 3 UCLA, right, against San Diego.
Oh,
The
we're
Aztecs.
coming to that. We are definitely coming down to that game.
Okay,
But first, we got to make a stop in the afternoon session.
sure,
I
sure.
want to talk a little bit about Oklahoma. They had
Okay,
a
first of all,
tough
hello,
matchup.
Belmont. How are you doing? Again,
Absolutely.
3 quarters, I'm telling you what, I was like, "Okay, this is upset special," and then you realize, "Oh, that's right. Reagan Beers still plays for Oklahoma, and she is a one-woman wrecking crew, 29 points. When the going got tough, it was just, you know what? Rely on the sure bucket, pass it inside, turn and shoot. She's just money, and then the free throws, excellent, like, just everything you would want. And then we saw our first look at Chavez, right? The number one recruit in the nation, comporting herself quite nicely. She didn't take very many bad shots. She seemed to play in rhythm with the offense. I was very impressed with the fact that she was actually getting down in a defensive stack. I've heard so much about her offense. The fact that she could get down in that defensive stance and actually defend a little bit without being a liability really made my eyebrows raise.
Yeah, just her stat line alone was 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. And I just thought, like you said, her defensive prowess, and just her movements. It showed
Mhm.
that she was ready for that moment. You
Yep,
know, and
yep,
she big things ahead for her.
100%. And
Uh,
and I tell you what I learned yesterday, thank you, Caitlin Clark, because everybody is comfortable in a transition. Let that thing fly from 3 situation, and it doesn't matter, like logo, just beyond half court, all of the things. Everybody is feeling themselves when it comes to the long range shot, and coaches are like, okay, you've got the green light. It's if it's a good shot, go ahead and take it, just make it.
Absolutely. And just putting my coaching hat on for a minute, I was having this discussion with my dad, who is a coach,
Right.
former coach, retired now, but we were talking about because Belmont was keeping it and was staying in the game. And Bart Brooks and his team are veteran, they're savvy, and they're gonna make a lot of noise in the Missouri Valley this year. And
Not picked to win the conference, Belmont is. So there you go.
so, they kept themselves in the game and made it difficult at times for Oklahoma. But I thought, like we were discussing, Oklahoma playing to and through Reagan Beers really just that's what kept them in control of that game.
Oh, 100%. Even though Reagan's sister was on the Belmont roster and doing everything she could, and what a treat for their family, right? Everybody's in the stands wearing the Beers t-shirts. It was so adorable. But Belmont just didn't have the size at the end of the day. And Reagan Beers is a nightmare of a matchup, no matter what. But yeah, that's what it came down to. And then the 3 ball stopped falling late
Yes.
for Belmont, and that was the difference. But I love that Oklahoma got pushed. I'm sure the Sooners love that they got pushed because it let them know what they need to do, especially with that perimeter defense to really lock down on the 3-point shooters. So, yeah, I think it was a good learning experience for both teams.
Well, in the evening session, we
Hmm.
got our first look at Taniya Latson in a South Carolina uniform.
Okay.
And go
I
ahead.
love Taliah. I love her, right? Nation's leading scorer from a year ago at Florida State. Really wants to showcase her skills for South Carolina and the WNBA. But I tell you what impressed me more than Latson, and she was phenomenal, all syllables, the length of South Carolina. It's
Yeah.
like everybody has a 6'5" wingspan. I just could not get over how when everybody got in their defense stance and spread their wings, how long they looked, how menacing and athletic. Just as soon as I think Don Staley can't dip into her bag of tricks and change that program for the better, she does. She pivots away from big size, finds the 3-point shots. Now she's got a super scorer in Latin, and she has all of this length all over the floor. They are going to be a nightmare matchup in the SEC. Just a complete straight worst horror movie. Stephen King couldn't write something scarier than what South Carolina is going to roll out.
Yeah, I mean, you have your three-headed monster at the guards with Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson, and Taniya, and then
Hmm.
in the post, you got Joyce Edwards, another sensational sophomore, and Mississippi State transfer Medina Okot, who is
Yeah.
just massive. Maybe I just didn't want to notice it because I'm an Ole Miss person and she was at Mississippi State, but wow.
Right? But soft hands, good footwork, right?
Absolutely.
She's not clunky. There's nothing that doesn't look athletic about how she moves because sometimes you can just be big and take up space, right? That's not the case with that young woman. And that's again speaks to my length conversation. Once she decided to defend and just stay straight up, just impossible to shoot around.
In the other game last night, I know you took a special interest in because of one of the players who returned. UCLA defeating San Diego State 77-53.
Mhm.
Betts 21 points in 26 minutes, which
Yeah.
screams efficiency.
Mhm.
9 of 12 from the field. And then you have the return of Charlize Ledger Walker. I mean, and 12 points, 5 assists. What did you think about Corey Close's Bruins last night?
I tell you what, I was reminded of how senior laden that group is. Like, if they are going to get back to a Final Four, it's going to be the seniors on that roster: Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, Charlize Ledger Walker, Jaquez, and Dugalich, and the newbie, Gianna Neepkins.
Yes,
I tell you what, uh, locked and loaded. I loved how they played. They opened the game on an 8-0 run. Everything seemed to be flowing nicely. Aztecs got their footing, got over the shock of, wow, the Bruins are big and fast and can shoot. And we're competitive. And then it was just, all right, let's go into Lauren Betts. All right, let's make some things happen off the dribble drive. You know, Charlize had 10 of her 12 points in that first half. So I really like that Neepkins got going in the second half. And for the number 3 team in the nation, UCLA looking like it so far.
absolutely. And before I go on to this next segment, I want
Mhm.
to preface it by saying it's 2:17 p.m. Eastern. So I'm gonna see how good of a producer I am if I can get it out before those games start. But
Okay,
I want to talk just a little bit about games or players to watch coming into tonight. And I'll start it off if you don't mind. I
go ahead.
have Richmond, the Richmond Spiders. I
Mhm.
want to see what they look like with Maggie Dugan, Rachel Ostrom, Ali Sweeney. They have the transfer from St. Louis, Tierra Simon in the post.
Mhm.
Just a solid group for Coach Aaron Roussel, and looking to get back in the tournament, ranked preseason in 24th in the nation.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to see what they bring to the floor tonight.
Yeah, when I looked and saw the Spiders in the top 25, I immediately thought, well, whose spot are they taking? Because to
Right.
your point, it's like they're trying to get back to the tournament. So what is all the hype about? So I'm very curious to see how they come into this with a bullseye, right? All of a sudden you're playing with expectations and that's different. So what does that look like?
Absolutely. Who do you have? Or what are you looking forward to?
Well, 8, 9, Tennessee, NC State. Want to see what that looks, especially Camille Pierre for the Wolfpack. How does she fit in? How does that translate? And then Tennessee, we know how capable the Lady Vols are, but they also had to send a player home and away from the program earlier this week. And so, how are they just physically and emotionally? It's game one for them, but they look different than they did in the non-conference in leading up to this point. So how does that manifest?
So I know you had some things that you wanted to talk about as far as with the season starting.
Oh, I also want to tune into the Big Ten Network this evening. Number 18 USC taking on New Mexico State. This is the first time we see the women of Troy without Juju officially.
Yes.
And Jazzy, you're up. So I cannot wait to see what that Women of Troy team looks like. How I know Lindsay Gottlieb has everybody ready to rock and roll. Now it's just jump it up and let's see what it looks like. Um, I do want to shout out, we had a ton of 30-point scores on opening day, a handful of them, led by sophomore Sanaya Burks of Texas State in the Sun Belt. She's only 5'8". Love them when they're little, but she shot the lights out. She is currently leading the nation with 7 made three-pointers. And again, going back to my earlier conversation about Caitlin Clark just made this a regular deal, right? We've seen three-point snipers on every team, but now it seems like every team has a plethora of
Yes.
three-point shooters, and it's very, very cool to see. Brooklyn Meyer of South Dakota State from the Summit League had 33 points. Taryn, it's either Barbeau or Babat. College of Charleston, one of 5 players with a 30 piece. So shout out to those guys. Love to see it. Want to shout out the people that were working hard on the glass, a pair of 20 rebound games. Mary Moses Amanayo out of UTEP, a nation best 22 rebounds. Rebounds are possessions. So if you are on the glass like that, you are helping your team exponentially. And then in a game I had special interest in, California Baptist getting the win over crosstown rival UC Riverside. That is who Arizona opens up against in a couple of days. And Emma Johansson was a one-woman wrecking crew. BMac, not only did she have a career high 20 rebounds, that in and of itself would have been amazing, but she also co-leads the entire NCAA in blocks because she had a career high 7 of those as well. And she wasn't just blocking them and sending them into the stands. She was creating live ball turnovers, getting a piece of the ball, creating a scrum, and her teammate would wind up with it. So it was amazing to see. And then finally, Taryn Sides from Kansas State, repping the Big 12. She
Hmm.
had 12 assists. I love passing. And again, I think this is what separates Caitlin Clark and why she was so fun to watch, because not only could she shoot the three, but for me, her best asset is her ability to pass. And I haven't seen somebody distribute like that with consistency since CC left Iowa. So that was really impressive. And it was a part of the Big 12, BMac going 9-0 on opening day, not too shabby.
Yes, that I've said while she was playing at Iowa that her best attribute was her passing. I mean,
Right?
everybody loves to see the logo threes and all, and that's great. But her vision and her ability to pass was
Mhm.
always top notch for me.
Yeah, yeah. And the three-quarter court, full court, you
Yeah.
know, baseball, football toss, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just an on the money, in space with pace. Yeah, everybody that has emulated that part of her game, I really appreciate, because for me, that's why Charlize Ledger Walker is one of my favorite players, right? It's not just her ability to shoot the three off the bounce, whatever. She has eyes in the back of her head and she sees the play before the player is making the cut and
Mm.
gets to where they need to be. The ball is exactly where it needs to be. And I could tell some of her UCLA teammates in the game situation were catching up to Charlize and how she likes to distribute the basketball. So once they get a little more in rhythm in that way, the Bruins are going to be even more deadly.
Yeah, what they looked like yesterday is going to be completely different when it comes Big Ten play. I mean, they're going to be a whole different team. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, they've got several key pieces that are new that need
Mhm.
to blend, and we didn't even get a look at Sienna, right? Lower leg injury, so she was out. So that is just another dynamic piece. When folks around the UCLA program are comping Sienna to Asia Wilson, you have my complete and total attention. I want to see what that looks like for the blue and gold.
Before we get out of here, I have to get your take on what we're going to get our first regular season look at
Mhm.
UConn in the post Paige Becker's era.
Oh, yeah. As the
What?
defending champs, taking on number 20 Louisville. I think as long as AZ Fudd stays healthy and Sarah Strong is on the roster, it is tough to bet against UConn. It's easy to see why they were picked number 1 in the Big East, Marquette number 2. So I just don't see anything going left with the UConn program, right? And then I'm really curious to see how the addition of Sarah Williams from Wisconsin, how she folds into how Gino Ariema likes things done, especially from his bigs, his fours, his fives. So I cannot wait to see what it looks like because on paper, it is super exciting and it's easy to see why they are ranked number 1 as we tip off the season.
What is your take on the rule changes that have come into play here early in the season? Like we got our first taste yesterday, and I forget what game it was, but I saw someone tweet about it where the finger twirl has entered the college basketball space.
Yes, the review. Well, listen, I think Athletes Unlimited, to your point, thank you for wearing the shirt as we get set for season number 5. Hello in Nashville, Tennessee. That'll come your way in February. Um, we were the impetus, that league, with the replay review, the captain's challenge, and all of that thing. And I think we've seen it in the WNBA now and now in college basketball. I am all about get the call right, give the officials every opportunity to serve the game the right way and make the right call. I just hope that it doesn't take as much time as I saw it taking on day one. And hopefully that's just work out the technology and get the officiating crews used to it because you don't want anything to bog down the pace of the game. But I'm happy to see it. And I think it's just another way to get collegiate refs ready to referee at the next level as well. So I like it for a variety of reasons.
Well, we are in for another night of good basketball action on day 2 of women's college basketball. This has been so much fun. It's always fun being with you. And like
Right
we
back.
keep saying every time you're on the episode, Phoenix is coming. We are on our way.
Have you bought your tickets yet?
Oh, my ticket and my hotel room
Oh,
already.
okay,
Yes.
okay. This is how to do it, people. BMac is showing you the way. I absolutely love it. Yeah, tickets on sale, available now. Final Four, first weekend in April, and I can guarantee the weather is going to be fantastic.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. As always, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, you can listen to our podcast every single weekday on Apple Podcasts, with the video being on YouTube. Follow at Her Hoop Stats on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, and X. And follow Cindy Brunson at Cindy Brunson AZ on just about every social media platform. Sydney, it's been great.
Right back at you, BMac, and chill with the Christmas music. Wait till after Thanksgiving. That's all I ask. Let's just not.
Don't call me out. See.
I'm just saying, it's like, can we just get through Thanksgiving and then we'll start with the Christmas music? That's it.
All right, I got you. All right.
Yes,
was
BMac was spinning Christmas tunes as we logged in for our chat
yes,
today.
as she came in, I was listening to a little Luther, but
I love me some Luther, but just whew, let's just ease into this. I wasn't prepared for Christmas decorations up at the grocery store right after Halloween. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Can I get through Thanksgiving? Let me enjoy the turkey and all of the fixins first.
yes. All right, people, another episode down. Cindy,
Mhm.
thank you as always, and I will see you very soon.
Ooh, and a quick thank you to all of the coaches for scheduling tough and giving us all of these amazing matchups rather to tip off the season.
Absolutely. All right.
Yes. See,
We
thankful, Thanksgiving. See how it
yes.
goes in order?
See, this is what I get, people. That's okay. I can take it. That's why I'm the producer extraordinaire.
Woo,
Because of this lady right here. That's what I'm
oh,
being called.
I love it. I love it.
All right, people. We'll see you back tomorrow. Thank you for listening.